This is part 6 of a series on building a full-stack web application using Spring Boot and React, where you get to watch every line of code being written and a full app built from the scratch, step by step. If you're new, start watching from this video. So we've been working backwards from the data tier, which we created by populating data from an external CSV source. And then we created the mid tier, which is an API, which exposes that team information as a Spring MVC endpoint. And now it's time for us to create the front end, which is the React client, which is going to make a call to this API. There are different ways to organize your code base. You can have your React frontend be a completely different code base and have your Spring MVC application be a separate repo. What I like to do is kind of put them together. At least in this case, what I'm going to do is put them together, have the React app be one folder in this single code base. Okay. So before I do anything, I'm going to commit my changes over here to say this is the added team. I'm going to say team API. Okay, so we added the team API endpoint. I'm going to commit this change. Always commit all of them. Okay, so now we are going to add a new React app into the same repo. Okay, I'm going to switch to my this view again, the file folder view, and look at the folder structure here. You have in SRC, you have main and test. Okay, main has Java and resources. I can technically create the React project inside the SRC folder and have the build deploy that HTML file into my Spring MVC application so that like the root URL is going to be served by that index.html. Don't worry if that doesn't make sense. I'm going to explain how that is in a bit. But basically what I'm going to do now is create a new React app in this same folder, okay, in the same repo. So I'm going to expand the SRC folder. And here I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to call this, a new folder. I'm going to call this frontend. Okay. And inside the frontend folder, I'm going to initialize a new React application. src/frontend. And how do I start a new React app? Well, I do that by using the create React app command from npx. Okay, so the command is npx create React app. Okay, now what this is going to do is, I think I have to give it the name of the project. All right, so I'm going to do npx create React app, and I'm going to call this frontend. Okay, it looks like it's created in frontend/frontend, which is not what I want. So I'm going to kill this process, and I'm going to do this again. I'm going to delete this frontend directory. And then here I have main and test, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that same command, npx create React app frontend. So it is going to create that frontend folder inside my SRC. Well, here you go. It seems to have done that. So I'm going to wait for it to completely generate this time. Okay, so it's completely generated the React app, but here's the crazy part. You see here, the number of changes is around 5,000 pending changes. And the reason for that is node modules, okay? Frontend has this node modules folder and it's all being added to the repository, which is not what we want. So I'm going to quickly add that to git ignore, okay? I'm going to create a new one over here. You see all these categories where things are getting ignored from the repo. I'm going to add one more over here, which is basically going to be the React app. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, git ignore the node modules folder in src/frontend. Okay, so I'm going to, I don't know if I should do **. I don't need it. I'm just going to do src/frontend/node modules. Okay, we don't need that folder to be tracked by Git. I don't know if I need a slash at the end here. There you go. So now all that is not being tracked by Git, so it makes it a little easier to manage. Let's see if there is any other folder that we can get rid of. No, this should be fine. This should be fine. I want everything else to be saved here. So with this, we have a React app in our Spring Boot app folder. Okay, again, this is a subjective choice. You might decide to say, hey, I don't want to mix those two up. I'm going to put this in a separate repo. It's up to you, go for it. But I like to put this over here because it works. All right, so now I'm going to go to the front end folder, and then I can start this React app by using the command yarn start. A quick note here. In order to get all this thing to work, you need to have npm and node installed on your machine, okay? When you install npm, you're going to get that npx command that we used for creating a new React app, okay? What was the command that we used? We used npx create React app frontend, okay? So npx is a thing, a utility that comes with node and npm and all that, okay? So if you have node, you're going to have npx. And create React app is kind of like this template that gets downloaded the very first time you use it. And then it is going to kind of stamp the template every time you create a new app, right? It's kind of like initializing, kind of like Spring Initializer. And frontend is the name I gave for my React app, okay? You also need yarn to start the application. I think you can also do npm start, it's going to work, but I have yarn, so I'm going to use yarn start. And I've noticed what happens when I run this thing, okay? When I hit yarn start, it is going to run the React scripts start, and it is going to automatically open my browser. And it is going to start out with this React application right, as soon as it loads. Okay, so here it's loaded. This is the blank React app that we have. And we're going to be kind of making changes to this, right? We're going to be iterating over this. And I'm going to start with having like the core page components here and then making a REST API call to our Spring Boot API endpoint. Not going to worry so much about styling initially. Once I have all the pieces in place, that's when I'm going to go into the CSS and making it look good, okay? So here is my React application, okay? I'm going to move this over here so that you can see both the browser and the code base. All right, that should do it. And now I can start developing my React application. What is this React application? Of course, I'm going to collapse the Java projects as well. We don't need that for now. Now, the React app, we stop Spring Boot as well. We don't need that running, at least for now. Now, this React app has app.js, which is basically at this point, the starting point for this React app. This is not a React tutorial, so I'm not going to get into a lot of detail here, but basically this is like a component which is starting this application, okay? If you look at the index.js, it's basically your whole app is this app component, and this app component is basically this guy, okay? Now I'm going to remove all this stuff here so that it is just this div, app div, and then here I can say h1 and then IPL Dashboard. And then if I save this, this is going to get updated and we get this IPL Dashboard title over here. Okay, so this is how we're going to work on this React application. Now, what do I need for this React app? What are the components that I need? That's how you start working on React, right? When you're building a React application, you're going to think about the UI and then break it down into components, okay? We're going to start out with page components. We have a team page, which is going to give details about a particular team. So we're going to need that. And that's going to be a component in React. The team page is going to have a bunch of UI components. There's going to be a top level component, which is going to describe what the team name is. And then, the wins versus losses thing that we've talked about. And then we're going to have a component at the bottom for the page. Let me actually draw that for you. Okay, so this is what we have. Yeah, we have a page, which is the team page, and this is going to have the team name. And here is some indicator of the wins versus losses. I still haven't made up my mind on what that UI is going to be like, but it's going to be some component, right? So this itself is going to be one component. And now under this, I'm going to have one component, which is the latest match component, right? There's going to be one component. And under that, you have the smaller tiles for like the last 3 matches, right? So this is going to be one component, and then you're going to have a more link over here, which could technically be another component. All right, so what are the components we have here? There's going to be one component, okay? This can be a component, or I can have it be a part of the team page itself. This latest match thing, this card, is going to be another component. And this one, the small match details tile, is going to be another component. There's going to be 3 of them, okay? This whole thing is going to be a page component. It's a page, okay? So this whole thing is going to be a page component. So these are the components that we're going to have in our React application, and we're going to build that starting with the team page component. Again, I'm going to go a little bit faster than usual because this is not a React tutorial. I am assuming that you have some React knowledge. The few things that we're going to talk about is, before we start, is we are going to be using functional components, which is the new way of building React applications. It's contrast with class-based components, which people used to do before, but it's not recommended at this point. We're also going to be using React hooks, and we're going to be using the React, the effects and the state, basically all the modern way of doing things. So hopefully you will find that interesting and valuable. All right, so we're going to start with the team page. All right, and the way I do that is by creating a folder for pages. I like to do that because I want to create all the page components inside the pages folder, and I'm going to create all the individual components inside the components folder. Okay, so in this case, for example, the team page is going to go into the inside the pages folder, and then the tile which displays the win versus loss, or the tile which displays a particular match, that's going to go into the components folder. Kind of makes it easy for you to classify which one is a page component versus which one is just a regular reusable component which can fit into any page. Okay, so in this page folder, I'm going to create a team page component. All right, so I'm going to create team page.js. All right, so now the team page.js is going to look kind of like this app component over here. Okay, so I'm going to basically just copy paste this, and I'm going to call this team page, and I'm going to export this team page. I don't have a app.css. I don't need logo.svg. Okay, now here I'm going to have to do, the first thing you're going to have to do inside any React component is do import React, not recat, React from React. Okay, you need to do that in order to make a team, in order to make any React component. All right, so now instead of doing this export default, what I'm going to do is I'm going to export a constant, which is the team page. I'm going to export like a value. This allows me to import that particular thing itself rather than have it be a default import. This is again a best practice because it avoids any spelling mistakes when you're importing it. You can call it anything you want when you're importing with the way we are doing it right now because you're doing a default export. Okay, instead of doing this, I'm going to make a specific export so that whoever is importing it has to specify that name. Okay, the way I do that is by doing something like this: export, and then const team page equals, and then I'm going to make this just a function export. Okay, and I don't have to do this export default anymore. So I'm specifically exporting this value so that it gets imported as that value. All right, so here I'm going to change the class to the team page class because this allows me to kind of group all the classes associated with the page under a specific namespace. I can say everything under team page needs to be styled a certain way. Well, I can do that by just sticking this class name on top. And if you're new to React, class name is basically a way for you to specify this instead of class. You cannot use class here because this is JavaScript, and class is a reserved keyword in JavaScript. So that's the reason why you have to use class name. React is going to automatically map it to class. All right, so now what I have done here is I've created a component called team page, which contains this div team page, and it has heading IPL dashboard. Okay, I'm going to save this. And now what I can do is I can use that team page component instead of doing this, right? So here what I'm going to do is remove this. Now this goes away, but now I can import team page and I can use that like so. Okay, I'm using the team page component inside the app component. And what you're seeing there is the app component, right? What you're seeing on the right-hand side is the app component. So I'm importing the team page component over here. And now when I save this, you can notice that you still get IPL Dashboard, but this time this is coming from the team page component. But this is not what we want. What we want is to show the team name, okay? Let's say some team name that gets displayed over here. Oops. And then below this, we will have maybe like an H3 latest matches, and then kind of like a listing of all the matches over here, right? Let's see what the CSS is doing over here. I think the CSS is coming from app.css. I think it's centering everything over here. So let me make this left. So it sticks over here, and then I can set some kind of a padding. I know I said I'm not going to do any CSS, but just to make things a little bit neater, I'm not going to mess with CSS anymore. I'm actually going to be removing a lot of what React kind of came with by default, because we don't need a lot of this stuff, okay? In fact, why don't we do that now? That should do it, okay? And then we're going to add CSS later as we go. Okay, so this is my team page component. And now what I need is to show first the latest match, kind of like in a little more detail, and then the last 3 matches in smaller detail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create 2 components. I'm going to call one the match detail card, and then I'm going to call the other one the match small card. Okay, I'm going to create one more here. Match detail card.js. I'm going to create one more component called match small card.js. Again, both of them are your typical React components. So I'm basically going to be copying this here, and this one's going to be match detail card. And then basically the same thing here. I'm going to call this match small card. All right. Now in the match detail card, I'm going to again do the same thing. I'm going to create a div with that class, and then I'm going to have maybe the latest matches show up over here, and then I'm going to have an H4 and say match details. Okay, and in my team page, I'm not going to show this. And in my match small card, I'll actually put this in the match small card. So I'm going to move this over here. Get rid of this. I'm going to have a paragraph match small card. All right. And of course, the class, again, even though we are not going to be styling this for now, I'm just going to put it there because it'll be helpful. So in my team page, I'm going to have a team name, and then below this, I'm going to have a match detail card show up. And under that, I'm going to have a match small card. There's going to be like 3 of them, right? So I'm basically going to paste 3 of them over here. And now all those components are going to show up over here, right, in my UI. Let me actually zoom this up a bit so that it's easier to see. So I have latest match and match details coming from the match detail card. And then the match small card is contributing these paragraph tags. So it's 3 of them. So it's going to show all 3 of them. All right. So this is basically hard-coded values. Okay. So I can basically create a team name over here and can call this, let's say, Rajasthan Royals. And then the team name is going to show up there. But again, this is hard-coded. We want to show live data. So we need to make a REST API call. Let's do that next.